The Fuel at home on the PK, 81.6%. The Comets on the power play away, 16.3%, because they were backlogged on home games, kind of like the Fuel were last year, due to ice renovations at the Allen County War Memorial. Aliardi with the puck. Tries to send it, barely kept in by Brown. Goes to Matt Petgrave. Petgrave, dangerous feeder, but it's kept out by a screen, and Murray there, and Jordan Martin all alone with a breakaway, shoots, deflected wide, but a great opportunity there by Jordan Martin, who has a lot of shorthanded points. Last season, he, alongside former Fuel player Darby Llewellyn, scored so many shorthanded points last season, and he had 10 points on special teams, was the league leader in shorthanded points, and you tell the frustration there by him, but however, that was still a great play, being able to poke check the puck at the blue line. He would have had a little more time, but the puck was bouncing in between his skates. If that didn't happen, I'm sure he would have had more time and more speed for the breakaway, but all in all, still 1 minute and 17 seconds left in this PK, and the Fuel maintain possession. They shoot it on Day, and he makes a glove save. So again, 1 minute and 12 seconds left in the Chris Cameron cross-checking minor penalty. 13:15 left in the second period. Our score is tied 2-2, with the shots on goal still being in favor of the Fuel, 12-10. However, the Comets really coming in with a lot of great energy and momentum. Still though, missed passes have really been the issue today on both teams. Still a delayed. The penalty kill unit for the Fuel is Joseph, Ennis, Tucker, and Berger. And the Fuel win the draw, and they're going to tic-tac-toe and rack some time, but it's going to go all the way back where Jalen Smerick, again, an ace on the power play. He, in total, has 83 power play assists. So, Stefan tries to take it, dangles to a pass through Grube, but it was not connected. Again, those missed passes have really made an impact in today's game. It goes all the way down to Nathan Day, where again, Jalen Smerick collects the puck, dangles to the blue line, sends it back to Krill to tie up. Now on the backside, Magera takes a hit, and it goes to Tyson Feist, and tic-tac-toeing. Again, goes back on the boards, 29 seconds left in the penalty kill. And Grube gets right in Main Street, however, he passes it back, and the Fuel maintain the puck again. Jordan Martin and Dustin Manns. Jordan Martin pass it, Dustin Manns. Shoot goes wide, and the net is off its mooring, and we got a penalty. I would assume possibly an interference call, just because of the way that, and it looks like Krill Tutayev will be going to the bench. We'll listen for the verdict right now, but Dustin Manns had no opportunity, was pushed into the net. 2 minutes for interference is correct. That is the call. Very much a correct call there, as Dustin Manns had no opportunity to use that breakaway. He was shoved into the net. Net went off its moorings. And we're going to take a break. Short break, guys. And we'll be back for more Indy Fuel hockey. With 13 seconds left in the Chris Cameron penalty, and then we will have a minute 47 of power play. So this could be a really good opportunity for the Fuel, but first got to clear the last 13 seconds of this 4-on-4. Anthony Petrozelli with a lot of speed. Dangles it, curls back. I think just to rag the time until Chris Cameron is out of the box. And now he is, and Matt Petgrave, and all of them activate. Lee Lapide goes behind Nathan Day. This is the first power play for the Fuel this game. Matt Petgrave at the line, sends it to Sahil Panwar. Panwar shoots, deflected. Lee Lapide shoots again, and the puck bounces out of the blue line. Indy on the power play overall is 16.3%. Fort Wayne has a really strong PK overall at 91.5%. They've only allowed in 4 power play goals out of 47. Panwar across the line, sends it. Jordan Martin, but it goes to Harrison Israels. Harrison Israels at the point, sends it to Lee Lapide, goes to Jordan Martin. Jordan Martin gets to heel Panwar. Panwar picks slap shot, goes to Matt Petgrave at the line. Petgrave to Panwar. Panwar sends it back to Petgrave. Sends it back, tic-tac-toe over here at the point, and the puck is loose in people's skates and goes to Lee Lapide. Panwar shoots it, scores! A power play goal for the Fuel. A really nice screen, and the Fuel are rewarded for it. The goal was tipped in front by Sahil Panwar, and that puts the Fuel ahead, now leading 3-2.
Here with head coach Dixie Wooten. Dixie, obviously ending the first half with a touchdown. That's got to feel good. What are you happy with the offense in the first half?
You know, just going on possession after possession of scoring. You know, we understood that we couldn't turn the ball over, so my guys did a great job of taking care of every drive.
And we worked on cleaning those little things like the turnovers. What's one thing, though, that you wish could be a little cleaned up for the second half?
You know, my guys play hard, they play physical, but we got to go into the second half again. These guys are not 6-2 for no reason. You know, we got to come in, we got to dedicate ourselves 0-0 and finish the second half.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck in the second half.
Dixie
With the victorious head coach, Dixie Wooten. Dixie, you made it 3. And then you made it 4. How proud are you of these guys, of their grit and their buy-in to this team?
They dedicated, you know, simple as that. You know, these guys put in the work effort every day. Even when we had the losing streak, they worked every day, all day. So, you know, it all goes to them. You know, all I can do is coach. They got to pay the price every day, and they got to work hard every day.
And what do you want to say to this Fishers Event Center crowd who has showed out and showed up for you game after game? It's been an electric first season. Obviously, we still have one more home game, but what do you want to say to these fans?
Just keep supporting us, man. We're doing a great job. Like I say, Fishers going to be one of the best teams in this league real soon. Like, we're going to have the best crowd, we got the best ownership, we got the best front office, we got the best everything. So we're going to keep supporting us, and we're going to host the championship, I promise you that.
Thanks, Coach.
Right before the Fishers Freight took the field for the final time this season, I got a brief conversation with Chuck Miller, and he just said, look, it's time for the guys to play smart, but it's also time to have fun. Yes, it is the last game of the season, and yes, the Freight are already eliminated, but it doesn't mean they can't have an energetic time on the field. Energetic can also mean having a little more fun and finding those plays that they didn't think may work earlier in the season, but can work now. It's a little bit of a trial zone to kind of set themselves up for next year. He said he's really excited for today's game. He knows there's going to be a lot of energy. Dixie, what a finale with that game. What are your emotions right now?
I'm happy for my guys because at the end of the day, we talk about, you know, not turning the ball over. If we don't turn the ball over, we give ourselves a chance. We had 0 turnovers today, and we got to win against a pretty good ball club.
And in addition to that, you just talked about the grit and the determination. This team can go against any adversity. Obviously, we snapped a pretty big losing streak. You always talk about in practice, just get 1-0. Now we're 1-0. How do you feel?
I feel great, man, but I feel so good about these guys.
And that's what Coach Duncan Dalmeo wants. He wants sustainable ozone time, and that's where the Fuel thrive. Hitting teams in their own end, having a good, strong forecheck, and puck retrieval creates good success. Still only 7 shots for Rapid City right now, and that's the shot suppression is something that Coach Duncan Dalmeo talked about. They were really strong last year on shot suppression, #1 in the league. From Wednesday to today, they jumped to 8th in the league for shots against, just now at 27.8 shots against per game. They are just climbing up there on being able to have their strong defense and increase shot suppression for their goaltender, which can have pros and cons. Obviously, if goaltenders aren't seeing a lot of shots per game, then sometimes, like Flores on Wednesday, he went a whole hour without seeing a single shot. Brett Moravic's 6th goal of the season comes at a really impactful time, ties up the game. But also, the Fuel have just been really strong on face-offs, and that was a really good action there where if you can just win the puck battle in your own zone, and again, some great passing by the rest of his teammates, and then him just being on the side there, being able to poke it in. And Flores against the Bison so far this season, he's 1-2 with a 3.06 goals against average and an 88.3 save percentage. And I think about last December's game against the Bison, all 4 goaltenders played in that game because their starting goaltenders got hurt for a period, had to be taken out, got put back in. Weeks played for about a minute or so. It was a chaotic game. It's not typical that you see all 4 goaltenders play at one point. Eva Hallman down here with Jalen Swan, who I wish you could have just seen on the video. He was getting with it with the pom-poms, definitely getting hyped up for this game. So, Swan, we've seen these guys this is the third time. So, what's the mentality? We were talking earlier this week. It's not like an even matchup. We've gotten all the nitty-gritty out of the way. We've seen these guys on film. How are we going to execute it tonight?
Playing through the whistle. That's pretty much all it is. This whole week is just playing through the whistle, playing going gritty with the game. Even though this is the last game of the season, we're going to play this championship. This is our Super Bowl, honestly. We done worked hard coming from a 9-game losing streak all the way to a 4-game winning streak, and we're going to push it to 5 games. And the only way to push it to 5 games is to grind it out, play hard, and keep going.
And for tonight, what's one of your keys to the game?
Playing through the whistle. Playing through the whistle.
And you got to give it to me. You know what the fans need to hear. Signing off.
Fishers
Freight. Now sending it back to you, Andrew and Jim, to get us started for today's game.
Our pregame coverage continues with a conversation with head coach Duncan Dalmeo. Coach, a lot of hockey in a short period of time on the tail end of a very long November, especially with a more rookie-facing team who haven't played this many games in a week before. How has this team and group rallied together for this pretty intense month?
Yeah, you kind of nailed it there. A lot of guys, especially the guys that play college hockey, more so than the guys that play at the major junior level, they're only playing on the weekends. So, yes, we play on the weekends, but you start mixing in all these Wednesday games and it gets taxing after a while. I think the bigger thing for our group too is try and keep up with habits and system-based stuff without as much practice time as we're used to. So, certainly, part of the life, part of what we all signed up for. But, I think the guys are handling it pretty well. The leadership group's done a good job with the young guys, and, we're trying to make sure we supplement practice time with some video and things like that. So I think we've handled it pretty well, but certainly, something that guys have to grow into.
And special teams units are in full display as of late with a strong penalty kill and 2 for 4 on the power play, with the same unit scoring twice on Wednesday. What clicked on special teams and how we look to capitalize with Fort Wayne coming in with a very hot penalty kill?
Yeah, I think it's just everyone just getting on the same page and getting used to playing with each other. I know obviously it's 15 games in the year. There's a whole new units, right? And they're completely different from what we've had here in the past. So guys just kind of, there's been tinkering going on. Obviously with Lombo getting called up, he's a big piece of our power play as well at the net front. So a lot of guys moving, Brett Morvac getting hurt, a lot of moving pieces there, which not a lot of continuity, especially on a power play. It makes it hard. The kill's been pretty solid. So, we certainly had to get used to a bunch of things, just like you talked about early on with the guys that we brought in. Getting used to the penalty kill, so much turnover in the team. I think we're kind of getting the hang of it now, and it's looking a little bit better, and hopefully that continues.
And then Fort Wayne also is keen on pitting teams in their own zone and taking advantage of extended puck possession. How key is players moving their feet and not taking penalties in those situations going to be tonight?
Yeah, obviously offensively they do a good job, and a lot of teams here lately that we've played have done that. Wheeling did a good job of that as well. So we just got to make sure that we're getting out numbers in the D zone as quickly as possible, and we don't want teams being able to switch and guys moving all over the place when it looks like fireflies all over the place. And when teams start doing that, that's difficult to handle. It doesn't matter who you are. So we're trying to keep that condensed. We're trying to shrink the zone on these guys and make sure that we're ending plays quickly and we're getting out quickly. And then I guess the other thing is you don't have to play in your D zone as much if you break the puck out properly, and that's been a big focus of ours. So hopefully we can get that going tonight.
And we've talked about Owen Flores before, but in his last 5 games, just 3 goals allowed aside from the shootout. How have you liked how he settled in and adjusted to this team and league?
Yeah, Flo's been a treat to watch. Obviously, tough start to his career, and the reality is, that's going to happen. I think the Ontario League goalies are a little bit more. The style of game here is a lot similar to what it is, at that level. So, I think it was just him getting his feet wet and understanding what's going on, just being a pro, being on his own, all the things that we talk about. And he's still a kid, right? He's 20 years old. So, he's had a good run of late. Hopefully that continues. But it's nice because he's a good kid, and we like to see those kind of guys have success for sure.
And then lastly, what's keys to the game tonight against our I-69 rival?
Yeah, obviously, big game for us, good measuring stick for us, right? we've been talking quite a bit about, taking care of business at home. I think we've been doing a lot better job for the most part of performances at home. I think the start is the key. We just want to get off to a good, first 5 minutes and make sure we're doing what we want to do. We're dictating or trying to dictate the pace of the game and the way it's going to be played, and certainly to continue that over the span of the game. But the first 5 minutes will be important. Like you said, ending plays in the D zone, and then certainly getting pucks to the net and getting bodies there too. So.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck tonight. This has been your head coach's report. Our pregame coverage continues after this.